We are going to start our discussion about governance standard for Islamic financial institution. I am going to discuss the first standard, and we will see this is related toward the Shari'a Supervisory Board. I will discuss in this the appointment, composition of the board, and how to report, what is the reporting structure of this. Broadly, in this unit, in this discussion, we have to cover certain topics is how we define a board, how a board should look like, then based on that, how the appointment of Sharia board will be done, how many members, like a composition, what will be the selection criteria, dismissal criteria, termination, suspension, rules, meeting, regulations, what will be the basic content of the Sharia report board report, supervisory board reports. Then we'll discuss the publication of, how they publicize the fatwas, new things, rulings, guidelines of the Sharia Supervisory Board. In the last, we'll discuss what is the effective date and when they adopt the standards. Governance is the main part of discussion. What is governance? Governance is a very sensitive issue. All the corporate social responsibility, all international regulations like SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley, their focuses on good governance. And when we say effective management control and system, then we have to talk about risk involved with the business, governance, and controls. So focusing ourselves on governance, the purpose of governance standard is to bring efficiency, effectiveness, is to establish and provide frameworks about the appointment, composition of the Sharia board. This board is going to govern the organization in the best interest of the stakeholders. How we define the Sharia board members is it's an independent committee or a board with specialized in fiqh, or you can say the sources of getting religion. However, they may include certain members which are not that way qualified. They are for other quality assurance or other purposes, other technical expertise they can bring into and become the member of the board. They are non-experts in Islamic financial institution. But of course, who should be an expert in the field of Islamic, in the knowledge of fiqh. Sharia Supervisory Board is entrusted with the duty of directing, reviewing, supervising the activity of the Islamic financial institution. It's like a parent role that you are guiding, directing, giving directions, making sure everything is well, smooth, aligned, properly controlled and governed. They will be facing the challenges of the updation, new things arising around the business scenarios. We'll appoint the Sharia supervisor, like supervisory board, and we will fix the remuneration for transparency, bringing more good governance into our organization. Every Islamic financial institution shall have a supervisory board, and it will be appointed in the annual general meetings at least once in a year. This is same as in our traditional company ordinance. We restrict shareholders to meet once in a year at least in annual general meetings. They can call for extra general meetings for different purposes. Same like in Islamic jurisdiction, we can talk about supervisory board. They will meet elected by the shareholders. and they will take consideration of course, local regulations and legislations. Shareholders may authorize the board of directors to fix remuneration of Shari'a Supervisory Board, but it is more recommended to make a separate remuneration committee, and who should have certain criterions to fix the salaries, remunerations of the shareholders. Now, in terms of Shari'a Supervisory Board and Islamic financial institution, they should agree on the term of engagements. Like what it should be recorded as an appointment letter, which will define the scope of the work for them. They should ensure that they have accepted the appointment, and we have, it includes the certain kind of compliances of Islamic financial institution into Shari'a Supervisory Board shall appoint from these members any person, a supervisor, who will help in performing its duties. So this is how the board is comprised, that shareholder will sit together, they will make a board, they will appoint, and someone will become the supervisor, and he will be taking care of certain duties. Now, as per minimum requirement of a board, at least there should be 3 members. These members may seek the services of consultant who has expertise in certain business phenomena which is required to run the show of the organization. For example, economics, IT, law, accounting. Because business is growing, we cannot survive without especially the IT techniques and softwares and networking, privacy of law, data. These are so new knowledges. So we can put anyone who has a deep knowledge, who can protect the organization's data, privacy, and other information. Same like when we appoint the board, there should be an appointment procedure, there should be a dismissal procedure, so we can, again choose in annual general meeting that who to remove, who to dismiss, who to incorporate. This is with the majority decisions, of course. Basic elements of Shari'a Supervisory Board, they will issue a report. Of course, every report, like an audit report, should have a title, it should have an addressee, and it should have an opening paragraph, it should have scope paragraph, it should have opinion paragraph, it should have date of report over it, and there should be signature of the members of the board. That is mandatory on it. Continuing our discussion into the Sharia, as I told you, it should have a title, and the board should be knowing the local laws. Scope paragraph should be here. Basic elements. In this report, like an engagement report, and management responsibility should be defined. So we should have a very clear statement that management of Islamic financial institution is responsible for proper complying with the Islamic Sharia laws and principles. We should get a confirmation on the supervisory board has performed appropriate test procedures and review work as appropriate. Whenever it is needed, the board is really doing effective work. We have latest techniques, knowledge, and they are performing the appropriate test to make sure the good governance, they are part of bringing good governance to the institutions. Where appropriate, of course, you can examine on test basis, because you cannot give absolute assurance. So you should, for reasonable assurance on test basis of each type of transaction, what is the supportive evidence, and are they in compliance with Islamic Sharia's rules and principles. This is we have to make sure in all